Welcome to another episode of High Proof Ashes. We got a special episode. This is part 2 of our Bourbon Commander episode that you guys met last time. And we are just going to do a part 2 hanging out with our folks, hanging out with our group. They won't be on camera, but you're probably going to hear them. But I am Jason JB Smoke. I'm with my partner over here.
Rand, no cool nicknames. Y'all know what to do. Put them in the comments. Hopefully we'll find something soon. Or not, I don't really care. But our special guest,
Corey Madden, a.k.a. the Bourbon Commander.
Yes, sir. So, we're still smoking the CAO, Amazon Basin, Extra Añejo. We've been on this thing for, hour and a half, something like that?
Hour and 30, hour and 45.
Something like that. So, we told you before, this is a pretty long smoke, so, we're going to keep going with this and, enjoy some other spirits and have some interesting conversations with our group here. So, let's get it going.
Yeah, there's nothing to get going. We're already in the mix.
So I'm excited to have something else that Corey brought, which is the Russell's 13. I've actually never had the Russell's 13. So, I'm going to reach over there and grab that. So it's fantastic. Corey, are you still sipping on your Mr. Sam?
Nah, it might be a...
I have one heavenly drop left. Then I'll move to the next thing.
Gotcha.
All downhill from here, baby.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
Whiskey Wednesday. That's what we do. As you can see, there's more bottles on the table at this point, but we're going to do what we normally do. I'm not going to spend too much time trying to talk to the camera.
Nope. We're just going to hang out. So you guys are just joining us for a hangout. So that's what's going to happen right here. So, group, how y'all doing? How's everybody doing?
It's Whiskey Wednesday. How can it not be a good day?
Right. We've got somebody trying, I think, a Damaso for the first time.
Yes.
Jerome Damaso, amazing cigar.
I've always been a fan of the 64s and the first Damaso. Very nice stick.
We did that on the podcast some time ago and brought that to you guys, but great cigar. What's everybody else smoking here? Sean, what you got?
I've got a Leaf.
Leaf by Oscar.
Leaf by Oscar. It was the only light wrapper that I had in my box, so I just want to start with that before I move on to the more full body.
Sure. Yeah, we talk about that a lot, about whether or not you're going to, start light and move up, or just, go in, jump deep in both feet. That's like what Duran likes to do.
Yeah, I don't really prioritize, which cigar I'm going to smoke first. Just kind of whatever I'm in the mood for at the moment, right?
I'm 50-50. Some days I do, some days I don't. It just depends.
You can sit right here.
Hell nah.
What about you, Angie? What are you smoking?
I'm just smoking a champagne.
Perdomo Champagne. We've had that on the podcast too.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. That's phenomenal stick.
That's a great stick.
Smoke production off of that is absolutely astounding.
Yeah, we've really been jumping on the Perdomos, I think. Like, just everything we've smoked is just good.
Yeah.
As you can see, we just cut up.
Shit, are you serious?
That's a good thing.
Why would you?
I don't know what Jason's like. I had to see it. I had happy early birthday.
So,
I'm sorry.
What? Because was Alicia put out?
Like, did you think about anybody else's comfortability before you did
No,
that?
because I was only gonna do it for a minute. I was gonna love on him for a minute, and then, why you call me out every time I do something? It's what I want to know.
it's kind of fun.
It is.
Kind of fun.
I was just gonna love on him for
Yeah, as you guys can see, we definitely like having fun, man. We're close. We love to have fun with each other, stick each other. It's just great. But
It's a great time.
that's a great thing about Whiskey Wednesday, right? We get to come together. We're just a big family, and we get to enjoy. Not only
this guy. I don't know that.
yeah,
We're not sure about him yet.
We know everybody else in the room except for Kenneth.
No, John.
John.
Kenan, a.k.a. John.
It's Kenan. Right?
Kennan.
Kennan. A-N.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay, all right.
You can't have a third John.
Nah, man, that would be a pain in the ass. Like, seriously.
We don't call anybody just John, though.
No.
It's always fun to last.
Well, there's Little John,
And
Crowder.
Yeah.
Who else? What other John do we have?
Big John. There was Big
yeah,
John.
Big John. Yeah, Big John.
Big John, Little John.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, you could be just
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, who's not coming tonight? So I think Ray said he's not coming. Patrick's not coming. Sohill said he's not coming tonight. Where's Jill? Do we know where Jill is?
Don't know where Jill is.
That's who Jill is. Jackie's on her way.
Okay. So we're gonna have a fairly lively crowd. You know, we got Luke hiding in the corner.
Right? He's just barely off camera.
I'm gonna get in the picture soon.
Yeah.
I got a blessing with my parents.
Oh, yes.
And no matter where Aaron sits, he puts his head in the camera.
I'm trying not to. I apologize. But that's where the whiskey
If you had a head like that, you couldn't help it.
She says that.
Yeah, I love this cigar, man. It is still transitioning. It is still absolutely phenomenal.
I mean, I'm just-
It never stops.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It never stops.
You start off with one stick. 20 minutes later, you're at a different one. Hour later, you're at something completely different.
Yeah.
Well, I was a little worried, right? I was like, no way, this is going to be 2.5 hours.
Yeah, look at that.
And here we are, like, so what is it? It's now 5:10.
Yeah, that's the
That's world. I mean, we started at like, what,
if there's
3:30?
no blood
Yeah.
clot, then why
Yeah.
like that?
Yep.
So we're about the 2 hour mark, and it's got a long ways to go. Like, it's every day 2 hours.
It's absolutely unbelievable.
experimental series.
All right, so I guess I'm going to go ahead and give you a light pour. Look at this asshole.
Came back so
He did the same thing.
One of the judges just showed
One
up.
of the John.
One of the judges.
John.
Speak up the double and he show up here.
Hey, I'm John. That's
I love how you're embracing it.
So we do have a lot of great bottles on the table. We have a lot of different tastes. I mean, we have low rye, high rye. We have wheated. We have blended. We have vintage bourbons. We represent. I'm looking at least 5, 6 different distilleries. So really getting around the world review of different types, different tastes. And I think that's the great thing about it, right? You have a lot of people that are like, oh, well, it's whiskey. But no, there are so many different flavors you can get. You can get a chocolate, you can get a caramel, you can get a fruity, you can get something that has a little spice to it. We have, I think that's one that's finished with a Madagascar vanilla.
Yep.
You absolutely can just say, hey, what am I feeling like today? And that's what you're going to be able to just take this different experience.
What I think is great about it is, as you go into your cigar path, career, whatever you want to journey. Good word. And you develop that palate where you can start picking up those different notes of the cigars.
Mhm.
Then you get to the point where you're starting to pair and decide what goes best with this cigar and what goes best with that. There's some bourbons that I love it until I'm smoking a particular cigar, and it's like, this just don't go with that.
Yep.
And you can really start to pick that up. And I'm by far nowhere near that end of the journey, that part of the journey where I can pick up all those
Right.
different tasting notes, the chocolate chip peppers, that. But I'm getting, and I'm starting to. So that's another good thing I like. I enjoy that whiskey.
And that's
Yeah.
the great thing about it. You just go with what you enjoy.
I want this.
And as things change, as your palate changes, you enjoy different things.
Absolutely.
I know.
I know there's been a lot of cigars as well as bourbons that the first couple of times I tried, I just don't really like it that much. Set it on the shelf, come back a couple of months later and try that cigar a few months later and really enjoy it. So it's you do develop, your palate does change.
I agree. I mean, I can tell you from just like I was into bourbon, but in the last 2 years, like I've just really dived deep. So now it's a completely different stratosphere of things that I like and don't like. Right. I think we've talked about it quite a few times. It's kind of weird. You start out drinking one thing, right? Like Blanton's was like the holy grail. Like I gotta get a bottle of Blanton's.
Absolutely.
Now, like I've had a bottle of Blanton's sitting in my collection for probably 2 years, and I can't get anyone to drink, or anyone in this group to drink, right? Like,
Well, how many times have we seen a bottle of Blanton's put down on this table and it doesn't get touched in an evening?
I mean, often, like
Very often.
probably weekly, like realistically.
Yeah,
Like, somebody
if it now comes in here, to the rest of the world, it's looked at as a holy grail.
Yeah.
In this room, it's below average.
yeah, like seriously, like it's $80 piss water. That's a little extreme. That's extreme.
But it's $80. It's not worth it. When it
Yeah.
used to be 45 to 50, it was a good.
Yeah,
It was a good pour.
It's a decent bourbon. It's just overpriced.
Yeah, it's overhyped.
And overhyped.
It is. It's the horses. Sure.
I mean, yeah,
It's a big
I
part
think
of
you're
it.
right.
It's got a good
That's the
story.
fact
you
that
know,
you
it's-
couldn't get it. And that's one of the first ones that really was really hard to find. It was allocated, it was really hard to find, so the allure of it, it's just like smoking a Cuban cigar. Are they any better than a Nicaraguan or a Honduras?
Yeah.
To some people it is, most people not.
I mean, the
But the fact that you can
the
get it.
certain Cuban might be better.
Yeah,
than some
right.
other things,
Yeah,
but,
certain
like,
ones.
Yeah.
you can get Cubans that taste like dog shit, to be completely honest.
Right,
Like,
right.
Oh, I'm smoking a Cuban.
Well, I think it's the prestige that comes
Right.
with the Cuban, right? Like
Right.
people are like, "Oh, I've got a Cuban," and realistically, you're like, "Okay, and
And
like,
Yeah, just
unless it's pretty
because
embargo."
Yeah, and I think a
Pretty
lot of
embargo.
it. Yeah, I think a lot of it is, it's because we can't get it right.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
with the embargo in the
Yeah.
U.S. You're like, oh my God, I got to have a Cuban.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, for me, I can find my favorite line of cigars mostly are Nicaraguan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look at Dominican, the LFDs. I mean, absolutely phenomenal.
Didn't the Cubans that during the embargo didn't they go to Nicaragua?
Mm-hmm.
Can't say that word.
Yeah, I mean, they went all over the place.
Yeah.
And they brought the seed with them.
Yeah. So it's
Like
pretty
most-
much.
Most of this stuff is the
and
same
it's pretty
seed.
much the same
Yeah,
parallel.
So a lot of places
aroma,
now,
they're
they're
same
saying
temperature,
they have
same
Cubans,
humidity.
but they're not actually.
They'd say it's Cuban seed. is
It's
what
a
they
Cuban
say.
seed, right?
Right.
But it's
Tomato
not
or-
actually from Cuba,
Right.
Like it's in
Just
Nicaragua,
grown
or it's
somewhere else.
the Dominican or wherever.
Yeah.
So it is what it is, man.
It's
Enjoy
grown in the
what
same
you
type
enjoy.
soil. It's grown at the same elevation a lot of times. The same parallel as far as the longitude, latitude, and things like that. So you're getting basically the exact same thing.
And the knowledge on how to grow it, when to pick it, how to dry it.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, you could have the same seed, and depending on the soil, it's grown in. Depending on how someone wraps it, depending on the seasonality,
How it was dried, how
The
it was
environment.
the environment,
All that.
absolutely,
Yep.
all of that makes a world of difference. And I think that's also, you look at that, you look at bourbon, bourbon, there are some people like, oh, bourbon only comes from Kentucky, but it can come from anywhere within the United States.
Right.
And
Those are the purists.
and depending on
Right.
where it comes from, the environment that it is aged in, the type of water that goes into it, you can have different taste.
Yep.
Some of the most popular bourbon in the world doesn't even come from Kentucky. I mean, you look at MGP.
I was gonna say exactly
No.
that. Like I'm a fanboy of MGP right now. Like, everything they make, I haven't had anything I'm disappointed with.
And I mean, how many times have we had a bottle sitting here from Seattle?
Exactly.
Or New York or
I don't know if we've ever had one from New York.
Been Jersey.
New York City.
Well,
New York City.
MGP, Penelope.
Okay, yeah, but
But it's MGP.
It's MGP.
Yeah.
right. So like when I think about like distilling, I'm talking about like where was it actually distilled at,
Right.
So,
And that's like when I bring in the Washington, the Woodinville
The Woodinville,
selections.
yeah.
Or
Great
you get
different.
the other one I really like is the Garrison Brothers out of Texas.
Okay.
Still bourbon, but it is very different than a Kentucky
There's a-
bourbon.
Some
There's
amazing
a bottle there
things
from
coming out of
Distilled in
Tennessee.
Las Vegas.
No, that's MGP.
That's MGP, but
Yeah,
yeah, it's just bottled in.
Right.
what you looking for, Crowder?
Where do I start?
Man, I
No.
got some stuff on the table tonight. What'd you bring? You didn't sit anything out.
Buffalo.
What do you think you
What are you
brought?
doing? Like you special now? You don't put nothing on the table?
It's already one on the table.
Hey, what? There's Buffalo Trace?
Yeah.
Okay, who put out Buffalo Trace? Okay, look at Aaron bringing in the low proof shit.
I gotta get it off my shelf.
I need somebody to drink it.
I'm trying to raise my
You
average.
under the bus too.
It's fine. I'm typically the one driving the bus.
He's over there just, he is driving the bus today.
Hey, man.
Buffalo is always one worth have on the counter, but it's not a go-to.
Not anymore for me, right? Like, so now that I enjoy higher proof,
Yep.
it's hard to revisit
that's my
Buffalo
issue
Trace,
with it.
right?
That's my issue with it. It's too low proof for me.
It's too low proof at this point. But there are days, right? Like,
Sure.
I know I've got a couple of things going on. I want to have a glass of bourbon real quick and then head back out into the world. Buffalo Trace is my selection, right? Because it's low proof. I can grab it and be okay. So, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
I see we got two makers on the table, so what's the difference there?
There's the 2021 Makers FAE 01 and the 2023 Makers BEP for their wood finishing series.
Okay. Are they open?
Nope. These are brand new.
We just bought one on the way over.
Yeah. Little drug deal in a parking lot on the way up.
It was legit.
Feels
We
like
do
at
not
least.
condone drug dealing.
Right. Not drug deal.
Yeah, we
Whiskey.
we do not endorse bootlegging.
Really?
Oh, it's bootlegging.
Yeah.
Secondary market, modern day bootleggers.
Right.
It's just selling your property. That's what American.
Did you guys visit our favorite bourbon store in the area? Where did you get it at? Was it Rubin or was it somebody else?
So the BEP came from Dalton,
Okay.
and the FAE was from a gentleman that has been holding on to his bottle for 2.5 years.
Oh wow.
That's 21.
21.
Okay.
Absolutely phenomenal.
If I could find the 2020, I can't remember the letter acronym they gave it, I would finish my Makers Wood Series collection. Because the BEP was the final year of the wood finishing.
Okay. I got you.
I don't think I'm going to be lucky enough to find a 4-year-old bottle.
But you know, although they finished that, they are coming out with some high age statements.
Yes, I just saw they were releasing a blend of an 11-year and a 12-year,
Yeah.
so they can at least label it as an 11-year Makers product. And I like Makers. Once you proof Makers up a little bit, it turns into a great product.
I agree. Like I can't do the standard fair makers.
Yep.
But when you start like Makers 46, right? Like the next jump up in family, right? The price point pretty good. And then once you start moving up that line, like you just find that it gets better and better. So,
Yeah, exactly.
But I think every home bar should have a makers or mixes. It's like you should have a 101, Object 101, you know, and have some of these just standard. It's good for mixing. You don't have to mix your good stuff. And if you want an old fashioned, if you want to, you know.
I think I might have a new daily drinker and that non-creep, just the standard fare. What did you think about that?
Fantastic.
Right?
First time with it, that was like
Bardstown?
fantastic.
$31.99.
Bardstown,
No, he did not. No, he did not.
What is it? Bardstown?
No, he's already done it.
No.
Like he's already like Knob Creek. We're done with that.
That one right there?
Yeah. No, but the regular Knob
Is it
Creek
just
is nice.
on the shelf, easy to find?
It's decent.
Really?
Yeah, Knob Creek
Entry
is
level
like
product?
$32.
Hey, can we y'all trying to do a fantasy football league?
What?
You heard it.
Invite me.
He wants to know if you want to go.
I heard what he said.
He didn't stutter and your ears didn't
I
flap.
heard what he
Hey, I
said.
appreciate that.
If y'all don't know, that's
I like
Jason's
that.
wife getting in that ass.
I like that.
I heard what he said.
Then
It was more like what? Like what?
And what the what?
Yeah.
It was out of left field, but it's about that time of year where football's going to be
I don't know.
a daily
So,
conversation.
like, what makes him think that somebody here is going to start up a fantasy football league?
Because half of this room watches football.
Yeah, we watch it. Does anybody play fantasy football?
I don't know if
I
they do, but
I do. I'm already in the league.
I'm not counting you. I'm asking them.
I've done it once or twice.
Yeah, Luke,
So,
last time I joined the fantasy football league,
I'm
I took the championship. I just quit while I was ahead.
right out the gate.
These are selling really well. I still want to have some of my
It was you that did it.
Yeah.
Next year I'll probably do more.
Yeah.
more
He wouldn't breathe. I didn't ask him if they could
Like, we
breathe.
put that one in our league.
Oh yeah.
Like, this
See,
is her.
he's still-
Yeah. Yeah.
They still breathing.
But-
They're still recovering.
Yeah, it's a little like.
Well,
It's a
all
little
the things I did, then you're not going to always have them.
I think
Like,
it's just
I told her, I
unexpected.
was like, I'm not
It was.
just a flyer.
I said, fuck it, I'm getting
Especially her, Alicia. She's like, oh.
I don't know that I'm going to do more this year.
Yeah, she
Because I want to do it
so
and they'll be great process.
So I didn't get no kind of good reaction.
Okay.
For the holiday season.
now she's gonna curse me out tonight when we get home.
Like I said, starting next year,
I'm recording this podcast for everybody in the room.
I'm
She'll
gonna do a
be
lot.
on my head for that.
Good on that.
Yeah, it is what it is. Wait till the
And I'm
camera.
probably
Rock
gonna do, so doing 3.
I can
Days, I'm probably
delete
gonna do
everything
5 or
out of
6.
it. Where I'm adding it, where you added it, we can delete it.
No, this is recorded.
We can delete it.
I'll
Just
say
hit
hello
the
to
delete
Jason's
button.
wife.
Right?
Hit the delete button.
Don't worry, you've never shown up in it.
You're not in
Are you
it.
hot?
She won't even let herself be heard.
She don't even know that there's an episode
She's on the
coming
land.
where they're both going to be on it.
Oh, nice.
We are. We are.
Well, why are you trying to act like like you know sign language or something like that? You sign in right now.
Do it. Do the sign language you do know.
Yeah,
You're
what
not
about
on
the-
camera. That's how she's doing about you right now.
I mean, apparently, Jason ain't trying to call me out like I got his ass on.
Right?
He had an opportunity just now.
I know we did, huh? Because I was talking about deleting it. I ain't deleting nothing.
Here's the thing, I think it automatically uploads to the cloud, so even if you delete it off the
I know.
device,
He can still, right. I know.
Yeah.
still got it.
Yeah. And there's a backup.
And plus he knows I don't know how to do none of that.
No. That's why I looked at her funny, like, what are you
Yeah, we
talking
can
about?
I don't believe it.
I don't know
What are you
nothing.
talking about?
Good luck with that. This is an interesting one though. It's not often that we both have our wives in the room, smoking cigars,
Yeah.
drinking bourbon.
Right?
Corey's wife is about to pop in.
Yeah.
We got a couple people hiding in the background. I can see Luke right there. I can
Oh,
see
no, he
Luke.
barely
What up,
barely
Luke?
hit it.
So we got a few people hiding. Johnny, you want to lean your head down so I can see who Crowder is that we always talk about on the podcast? You want to lean in, man?
It's like, fuck y'all, I'm not getting on that camera.
Oh man, I wish we had like another camera to just kind of go around the room and get everybody real quick because my wife is hiding in the cut.
We just started. We'll upgrade eventually.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody gonna hide.
Oh.
Well, I mean,
Girl.
when our friends
Look at her.
actually start
Look at
watching.
her. She's like, what? They're going to upgrade.
Look, I'm throwing all of our friends under the bus right now because when our friends actually start watching the podcast, I know Sean is caught up.
It goes on you.
Sean might be caught up.
Sean's not only called
I'm
up.
watching. I'm not caught up.
Oh, hey, listen, I appreciate
Hey, I
that.
got one question though. What can a brother be on the podcast talking?
We got you, man.
Got you.
And we got a brother on the podcast right now. Like, we got the Burger Commander
on
right.
there.
What y'all trying to say?
Keep the white chocolate off the camera, but that's all right.
Well, if I didn't see Corey on it today, I would probably thought that.
Well, we had a definitive plan on who was to be the first guest, and it was the Bourbon Commander, hands down, right? So, just because he picks out so many of the bourbons that we enjoy, right? So we wanted to make sure he was the first person on the podcast. Ultimately. But now it's up from here, man. Like we just gonna run it up, and so we ain't got nothing else.
Better hurry. Going live. Millions of people's gonna see your butt walking by.
There'll be some black dudes calling.
Yeah. Redhead with big butt.
Oh my god.
What's her eight?
Right? And they go, put her at in the comments. The other Amazon.
The other Amazon.
Yeah.
Oh. Did you just break that man's cord?
It was probably.
I didn't. He was like that when I picked it up.
I don't know. It might have been. I don't know, truthfully.
Whose bottle is it? It's yours?
No,
it's
it is.
Corey's.
That right there is exactly why I can throw the bottle away all day, but I always keep my caps. Always keep my caps.
Just in case you need one for another bottle.
It is. I will tell you, the thing that I really, have found is, it comes with, different things come with your palate, right? Like this, the juxtaposition of spice and sweet, like the chocolate to the maple, that
And the
cardamom
creaminess.
to that cream. Yeah, it's there's so much. I like complexity.
We keep talking about that. Like we've had some of these new cigars and they've been just one dimensional and like they're well constructed. Smoke production's great. Like everything about it's great except the flavor profile's not for us, and it's because it's one dimensional.
I don't want to be like, I remember when I went to Malta. I did. Now I had to. I'll say this: so you guys do your show the way you do it. We did share a little group text. The CAO being the best dollar for dollar smoke. I think this deserves a whole episode where we get to rebut this with maybe 100 other cigars. It's fine. It's a fine cigar. It's a fine cigar.
For $15.
I think for 15.
Name.
Do we want to put them in that category?
Yes, that's so. Like
That's what
when
we're
you
talking
start
about.
talking cigars, right? We're talking okay,
Because I didn't hear the beginning. I heard dollar for dollar.
right? So it's a $15 cigar,
Right.
right? So for a $15 stick that just tastes as good as this, it's put together as well as this. Give me something else.
Romeo and Juliet, White Churchill.
That's what I was going to say. Romeo, Juliet, White Churchill for sure.
I haven't had one,
But yeah.
You have to like that flavor profile.
and it
That's what it is.
Tastes like a pot roast.
Tastes like pot roast.
Yeah,
Tastes
so-
like you're eating a whole dinner.
And
It's
I'm
one of
not
the most incredible
I'm not a
cigars.
fan of the traditional.
Series
and the
B.
price and it's
So-
$15.
Probably cheaper.
It's 13-ish.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Romeo traditional stuff tends to be a little cheaper.
Series D falls in that range.
Yeah. Or they did before.
And I like the CAO, so
I
I'm
was
not
the
shitting.
cigar scene.
Yeah, that wasn't what I was doing. I wasn't.
So again, here's the other.
I wasn't
Cigars
like
and Malta. Is there
pooping on the choice. I was
Casa
just like,
de Habana there?
No.
this is a very strong
Very-
statement.
Yeah,
It
it is a very
so-
strong statement.
But
It's
it's
a
a
very strong
opinion statement,
Malta
right? So
is
that's the whole thing. It's
very
our
much
opinion, right?
not
yours may be
a
different.
cigar
I
place.
think you could still
Now,
get
So it
There
doesn't,
are
doesn't have that
Cristo-
much of a Spanish
a Cuban
influence
Monte
that it
Cristo
has.
There
number
are
two.
three
But that's not
places
$15.
Those are
on
$50
the island that sell cigars.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they
30
are
plus
today.
places that
$50.
sell weed.
No.
Right.
Monte
Yes.
Cristo number 2.
Yes, they're $50.
Where can you find one for $15?
Hold on. Has that occurred? I mean, I buy them by the box.
Again,
But-
even by the box, you're not buying a Monte Cristo number 2
Listen,
for $15.
Not anymore.
If it's
they've had two
it's gone to
almost 100%.
$50.
Two almost 100%.
See, I was unaware.
Last 2 years.
When I was buying them, I bought
I hear you,
boxes
I
a
hear
couple
you.
years ago,
No.
and they were 11 a stick.
I've heard
Okay,
that.
no,
And then they went up to 50.
couple years ago. Whoa!
Stop.
Get
Well, I
out of
buy by the box,
Minimum.
bro, and set them back.
Minimum $30 right
Minimum
there.
30.
Minimum.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fair then. See, I was unaware of the price hike because, like I said, I buy in bulk and I set them back.
The Cubans, they jacked them all up.
Well, how much is the
You know.
how much is the
Like the big.
Tennessee Waltz?
That's like $12.
That's like
I think that's a better cigar.
Nah.
Then the CAO?
No.
I personally do. I'm just
Now,
saying.
now I
way.
think you
That's where we get into personal opinion, right?
Yeah.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
So-
it's personal.
Yeah.
Right.
But you're talking about
Are
construction.
you talking
and
about the Amazon basin in Yeho or just the regular?
The extra in
Talking
Yeho.
about extra
Yeah.
Yale.
Or just the Amazon
All right,
basin?
yeah, 'cause
I
that's
thought you were
very.
just talking about the CAO Amazon.
No!
No,
Oh,
No,
okay, so
no, not the
okay,
Amazon.
This is an aged.
No, you're talking about
Extra
you're
Yellow.
talking about the green band.
that's what I'm talking about. That's
No.
what I thought you
No,
were
no,
talking about.
no.
That's
And
not
I
what
was
we're
like,
thinking.
I love
No,
you guys
no.
so much.
No, that
What
no.
is this insanity that's
absolutely
occurring
not.
in the lounge?
No,
this-
absolutely
no,
not. That is
no,
not the
this-
same
that-
cigar.
It is. Yeah, that's
So this is not that.
No,
No,
this
not at all.
stick drops what every 3 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It comes
This
out
is
every
this
3
is
years.
an Amazon Basin Extra Añejo.
Right.
And it's only $15.
It's
Yes.
only 15.
When
But
it's
it comes out
released.
every 3 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
You cannot. I have
Challenge
not
you to go
smoked-
find
I stand there. Well, I'd have to smoke one.
Yeah.
So I haven't.
So you haven't had this?
I've had plenty of the one I thought you were talking
No,
about.
no, no.
I was so disappointed in
No.
y'all. I was like,
Oh no.
I know you lean into the liquor, but guys,
No, that cigar that you're talking about, I would smoke a Undercrown 10
Oh
all
God,
decked
yes. Oh yes.
out before I
Oh,
smoke
there you go.
that.
I would probably smoke those little Fuente pigtails before I would smoke that CAO Green Band.
Yeah, because it's not very good.
It's not very good.
I thought maybe.
I'll-
Listen, sometimes you
That's an
learn something
$8
about
cigar.
people.
I'll be.
That's
Sometimes
an
you
$8
learn something
cigar,
about
so.
people, and I thought I was learning a tragic thing about them.
man.
I'll be completely.
I love you, but I would
honest.
expect you to say it to me. If I was like, guys, this CAO Green Band,
No,
dollar for
best
dollar,
cigar.
best cigar you could get your hands on.
Absolutely not.
I would want you to say, Rob, well, this is intervention time.
outside of the Amazon basin, the only other CAO stick that I've had that I've absolutely loved
I know where
has
this is
been a
going.
Mortal Coil,
Yeah.
the Arcana.
The Arcana.
The Arcane
what
is
you're
Yeah,
this is
outside of that, I
Arcana
think
is-
this is
outside of
an
that, I'll leave
process.
CAO
That's
where they
crazy,
stand.
but
I'm kind of that way.
I mean, this is.
I did get those, the
This is
ones,
a short
what, two,
version
three,
of it.
3 years
Oh,
ago.
it's not
CAO
as
did that
freaky
limited
as
edition
big,
4th of July release.
Uh-huh.
I thought those were
It's a
good.
little
I-
short.
And I put
okay.
some back. They were good. Like when we
They
talking
haven't
for
been
the
stopped.
price, they were good for the price.
Yeah.
So I bought a handful. I bought like maybe 5, and I think I still have.
Like, so when I think about this cigar, I think
But that
You've had a
Romeo and
Fuente.
Julieta, White Churchill is it?
you've had a Fuente Añejo.
Yes,
Yes.
for sure.
You enjoy those.
They're one of my favorite cigars.
This is better.
better.
Well, the Fuente and Añejos are done in cognac barrels, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
they're done
they
in
are.
cognac
Yes.
But, you know.
Well, the Fuente, the
Okay.
Añejo Shark, the regular, the 77
The
Shark,
shark
is
is
a top
stands-
5
the,
cigar for me.
the shark stands on its own.
It does.
Right.
It
That's
does.
that's a whole
It
other
stands
cigar.
on its own.
Okay, all right.
But, you know, like your normal run-of-the-mill Fuente Añejo, right?
This is better.
Yeah.
All right. Well, when it comes
And
back
at
out,
a
I'll get
much
one.
less price point.
All right.
Yes.
So,
When they come out, I'll get one. For sure.
So I picked up a couple of.
My
the-
bad. I
the
knew
new,
not what I spoke of. I know how to stand down, too. The
no.
whole time I was picturing that Amazon Green Band cigar, and I was like,
No.
what are we doing? Are we like hanging out in like those
You're
places
talking.
that say
That's
smoke and vape
so
shop?
there's another Amazon basin that is above that one. Like you're just thinking CAO Amazon.
Right.
That's
Like,
what
you're
I
not
thought
even
you were
talking
saying.
about the Amazon basin. Like
Right.
there's an Amazon basin that's
Pretty good.
a little bit less than this, so it's not an
It
extra
has that
añejo.
same band.
It has the same
Yeah,
band,
yeah.
but it's not an extra añejo, and
They've
it's
got those here.
Yeah.
so they've had them
Yeah.
before. I don't know if they
Okay.
have them now, but it's
Yeah.
a phenomenal.
They-
So I hope
They
now you
actually had
understand my
this
Tennessee
one,
Waltz
they had this
theory.
one.
It just did not last more than 10 minutes.
No,
Right.
they opened the box and we bought them all.
Yeah, they were gone.
I've got a stash in the humidor that's for people that come to my house and are like, oh, I want to try. I'm like, sure, here you go. Here's a Cuban wrap. I love it. A quorum.
A quorum.
I can enjoy this
Those
quorum.
number 2s.
Sure, I have a gurkha in here somewhere.
I'm glad to see another cigar smoker has
Right?
the same feeling about Gurkha that
I have
Thank
an
you.
entire humidor that's just like dog shit. People
Okay.
and it's like people come over that don't smoke. Like,
Here you go.
here, pick one.
There you go. Have whatever you like.
Go in
And,
there,
they,
pick
and they
one.
are excited. They look through it. They're like, "Ooh, that
Yeah,
band looks
I
pretty."
learned that lesson the
They're
hard
wrong.
way when I first invited some friends over and gave them something good, and they
Have
smoked
no
this
idea.
much of it. And
Yeah.
that's like, all right,
It left it in the
that's
ashtray.
never
And
gonna
you're like,
happen again. You're out. You're done.
I don't even know if I'm still friends with people like that. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Well, it's like, I mean, I want to pour some Dr. Pepper into that Sam there. And,
Shit!
There are people that do that shit. Although, you know what? The guy that, if you've never read the book Pappy Land, first off, Wright Thompson, who wrote that, is one of the best writers in America. He's amazing. Met him a couple of times because he writes for ESPN. But the current guy that runs Van Winkle, is it Julian? Julian.
Yeah.
He drinks it with ginger ale.
Mhm.
That's the way his dad drank it.
Mhm.
That's the way his grandpa drank it.
Again, you drink
So,
how you like to drink, especially if you spent your money on it.
I lived in Louisville for 5 years.
As long as I
and
ain't spend my money on it,
and,
you mix it with Coke.
Kentucky's actually the worst place to try to find bourbon because everybody knows
everybody
it,
knows
right?
it's
And
great,
so
yeah,
it disappears. And everybody knows the guy and stuff never even gets on the shelf, right? But there are a couple of bars in town that, when the Pappy allotment comes out, make Jello shots out of it, sell it for $5. Because then their thing is everybody should have a chance to try this. And
But not in a Jello shot.
Well,
But it's also a kickback of fuck you. This bourbon shouldn't be that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
This stuff
So
shouldn't
how-
be. I mean, it's like Old Van Winkle. You know, it's an MSRP of $50.
Yeah.
You know, back then, this was 2017, 16. It was, $300 if you could find the bottle. Now it's what, $6, $7.
So actually, and here's the thing. Pappy Van Winkle, when Stiltzer-Weller Distillery was
Right.
producing it, is a completely different whiskey than what Buffalo Trace is putting out.
Sure.
You taste Stiltzer-Weller, you're like, I see why this is so popular.
Yeah.
You taste Buffalo Trace, you're like, okay. and like, I mean, like the 10-year, I mean, the MSRP that's $69 on that. I mean, and even the most expensive one, the 23-year, the MSRP is only like $3.99. But it's that secondary market of, oh my God, this is so sought after. And I'll tell you, I'm a fan of, hey, drink it how you want it. But it's one of those things that I look at it and go like, hey, if I know somebody is going to immediately mix something with Coke, I'm going to go like, I'm going to give you a great mixture for Coke.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
The stuff that's
Heaven Hill
really, the stuff that's really dear to my heart, I'm going to go like, hey, like Rob said, do you enjoy a good drink?
Yeah.
Because when I look at something like this, Mr. Sam, the complexities of it,
It's wasted on somebody who doesn't know.
yeah,
Doesn't have the palate. They don't know.
when you flood it with sugar,
Or they
you're
just
gonna
go,
mix it.
shunk, and you're like, what the hell? Yeah.
And like, because I can tell you all day, like, for me, if I'm going to be drinking with somebody who mixes, I'll go to the store. I can buy Evan Williams bottle and bun, $15. It's absolutely tasty to have by itself. And if you're mixing a $15 drink with turpentine, go ahead. Do it.
Anything, right?
And so I can tell you that when somebody's like, oh my God, never put it with ice or never mix it. Like, well, if that's the way you enjoy it, go ahead and enjoy it.
Came in on Friday and that was just dog shit. I had that, I can't remember what it was. Old Forester. I picked up that cheaper bottle of Old Forester, 100 proof for like $20. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I just wasn't. It's
average.
It's average.
Yeah, and I was just like, it's not my palate. I don't like it. It sat on the table for a month, and I was like, this is just, for me, it's gross.
Yeah.
And there were two guys like, man, I love this. I was like, here, have the bottle. No, man, I can't. Please take it, man. Like,
I got
get
a
it.
bottle
Like,
right now that everybody else in the room loved the other day that I can't stand. That
Oh, the Bardstown.
the Bardstown from
Was it
Kentucky.
Bardstown?
The Bardstown bottle and bun.
Yeah,
See, I'm a fan of it. And
what's
I
kind of,
I think it's
I think
okay.
it's a great $20 bottle.
Again, but people were like, "Oh, it's phenomenal. I drink it over." Blah blah blah. I was like, "Oh, y'all tripping."
what's like that? I'm not a fan of the E.H. Taylor. That's why I brought it in here for you
I
guys.
don't know.
I know. That's why I brought it in for y'all because I was like,
I love you.
I get some people that love it, put it on the table.
Yeah.
Y'all enjoy it.
Yeah, we'll drink it.
You know what I mean? Like, I'll drink it, but for me, it just wasn't hitting where I like. Right.
Which
Which is
So that's how I feel about blends.
that's
People
that's
go
the way,
crazy
right?
on blends.
Like
not my thing.
and people are just like, oh, that's the best thing I ever put in my mouth, and I
Okay.
am not going to argue with you.
Like, what are some
Oh,
decent
hey.
weeded bourbons? Because I'm on a
Old
weeded
Elk.
bourbon.
Old
kick.
Elk.
Old Elk.
Period. Hands down. Old Elk, right?
It's
What else you got?
absolutely phenomenal.
Well, all the
That's
all the
my-
Weller stuff is weeded.
It is, but
but
it's hard to
Old
find.
Elk.
Yeah, right.
Oh, Old Elk.
You can actually buy Old Elk. Like,
Right.
That is good. The,
okay, awesome.
the
How's that
where
Bernheim?
we
Wait,
like
wait,
Bernheim.
talk about
How's
the,
Bernheim? I haven't had Bernheim. I've heard good things.
It's a Heaven Hill.
Oh, well, wait, hold
It's
up, because I'm not there. I'm in
It's okay.
downtown, but I
The,
can be here.
the
So
barrel
give me a
finishing
minute to get
series
there.
of Maker's
Okay.
Mark is
Okay,
a
all
step above.
Okay, bye.
Did we take some?
We did stuff needs
I got the
age
car
on it.
from.
So
Okay.
for me,
Yeah,
Like-
depends on. I mean, like that is 4-year-old, and it's a decent.
Yeah,
It's very decent.
yeah. For the price point, that's delicious.
but I mean, compared to like just a stock makers that's weeded, like
So yeah,
I can't drink stock makers.
It is.
I've got to mix.
there. I mean, I'm very interested. Makers is coming out with one now that it's a blend of between 11 and 13-year-old. I think that's going to be a good one. I can tell you, you add age, absolutely phenomenal. Like one of my favorite pours out there is a William LaRue Weller, 15-year-old.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely, just astounding. But you know, I can tell. I when it comes to bourbon, about 85% of what you're going to taste, period, is going to be the way that it's aged. How long it's aged.
right,
the
what's y'all's
French guy
bottle,
just called.
favorite bottle and bond?
Favorite bottled in bond?
Yeah.
I don't know what my favorite bottled in bond is.
Right now, I'm going to say probably what sticks out in my mind is going to be Old Fitzgerald.
Well, the Taylors are bottled in bond.
I mean, E.H. Taylor, just all of them are bottled in bond. So, but I don't know if that's.
But I mean that you can find.
Well, you can't
Well,
find
one-
Old Fitz.
One that you used to be able to find that until it won a gold medal and then the price tripled is the McKenna's 10.
That's a good one.
I
That's a
mean,
good one.
that was a $29 bottle, but
So-
still it won the gold medal, and now it's
I actually just recently bought that bottle.
55 when you
I
can
recently
find
bought that bottle, and
some
Myrtle
good pepper going on in that one.
Myrtle Beach
So
got my ass real
again,
hammered on it.
It's a decent bottle.
That Elijah Craig. I mean, not the Elijah. I mean, not the Elijah Craig, but the Evan Williams bottle and bond.
That's good.
That's the same. That is
Same
McKenna
distillery.
bottle and
Yeah,
bond.
yeah, same
It's
distillery.
just
Yeah.
younger.
Yeah.
You're looking at 5 years versus 7 to 10.
God. So
There's
with
a
the McKennas, I
there's
still
an
think I
Evan
like
Williams
the
13 that you can only get
Oh, I
at
like that.
at
Yeah.
the
I'm pretty
tasting
sure.
room in Louisville.
Yes.
It's pretty damn good.
What's
I'll be
up,
right back.
Sean?
If you all move, just grab my stuff.